Have you ever had one of those days where you just don't feel quite right, but you can't put your finger on what's wrong? Maybe you're a little more tired than usual, or you feel slightly off balance. Or perhaps you've noticed you're getting winded climbing stairs that never used to bother you. You might brush it off as just getting older, but what if I told you that these seemingly minor changes could be your body's way of whispering warnings about something much more serious? Here's the truth that most doctors won't tell you up front. After 60, some of the most dangerous health conditions don't announce themselves with dramatic symptoms. They're what I call the silent killers, and they're working behind the scenes, quietly damaging your body while you go about your daily life, completely unaware of what's happening inside. These conditions are particularly sneaky because they often masquerade as normal signs of aging. Your doctor might even dismiss your concerns with a casual, "Well, that's just part of getting older." But I'm here to tell you that's not good enough. You deserve to know what to look for, and more importantly, you deserve to know that catching these conditions early can literally save your life. Today, we're going to talk about 5 silent health killers that specifically target people over 60, and I'm going to show you exactly how to spot the early warning signs before they become life-threatening. Think of this as your personal health detective guide, because sometimes the smallest clues can reveal the biggest threats. The first silent killer we need to talk about is one that affects nearly half of all adults over 60, yet many people don't even know they have it. I'm talking about high blood pressure, and it's earned the nickname the silent killer for good reason. Your blood pressure can be dangerously high for years without causing any obvious symptoms, all while it's quietly damaging your heart, brain, kidneys, and blood vessels. Now you might be thinking, "But I feel fine, so my blood pressure must be okay." That's exactly the trap this condition sets. High blood pressure rarely causes symptoms until it's already done significant damage. However, there are some subtle signs your body might be trying to tell you something's wrong. Have you been experiencing more headaches than usual, especially in the morning? Do you sometimes feel dizzy when you stand up quickly? Are you having trouble sleeping? Or do you wake up feeling unrest even after a full night's sleep? Here's what you need to do. Start paying attention to these patterns. Keep a simple journal for a week and note when you experience headaches, dizziness, or sleep issues. More importantly, if you haven't had your blood pressure checked in the last 6 months, make that appointment today. And here's something most people don't know. The reading you get at the doctor's office might not tell the whole story. Many people have what's called white coat syndrome, where their blood pressure spikes just from being in a medical setting. Consider investing in a home blood pressure monitor and check your numbers at different times of the day. If you're consistently seeing readings above 130/80, that's your body's way of waving a red flag. The second silent killer is even more insidious because it often develops so gradually that you adapt to the symptoms without realizing what's happening. I'm talking about insulin resistance, which often leads to type 2 diabetes. This condition affects your body's ability to process sugar properly and is becoming increasingly common in people over 60. Here's the scary part. You can have insulin resistance for years before it progresses to full-blown diabetes. And during that time, it's quietly damaging your blood vessels, your heart, and your brain. But your body is actually trying to warn you, if you know what to look for. Have you noticed that you're hungrier than you used to be, especially craving sweets or carbs? Do you find yourself getting unusually thirsty, even when you haven't been particularly active? Are you urinating more frequently than before, especially at night? Pay attention to your energy levels throughout the day. With insulin resistance, you might feel energetic right after eating, but then crash a few hours later, leaving you feeling tired and foggy. Some people also notice that small cuts or bruises take longer to heal than they used to, or they might experience tingling in their hands or feet that they dismiss as just getting older. The key to catching this early is being honest about these seemingly minor changes. Start noticing if you're reaching for snacks more often, especially sugary ones. Are you drinking more water than usual? Are you making extra trips to the bathroom during the night? These aren't just inconveniences. They're your body's early warning system telling you that something important is changing with how you process food and energy. What makes these first two silent killers so dangerous is that they often work together. High blood pressure and insulin resistance frequently occur in the same person, and when they do, they multiply each other's damaging effects. The good news is that many of the lifestyle changes that help one condition also help the other. But first, you need to recognize that you might be dealing with them. As we continue exploring these silent threats, you'll see how they're all connected and why catching them early gives you the power to take control of your health in ways that can add not just years to your life, but life to your years. The third silent killer might surprise you because it's something that happens while you're completely unconscious, yet it can be slowly destroying your health night after night. I'm talking about sleep apnea, and it's far more common in people over 60 than most realize. What makes this condition so dangerous is that it interrupts your breathing while you sleep, sometimes hundreds of times per night, depriving your brain and organs of the oxygen they desperately need. Now, you might be thinking, but I would know if I stopped breathing, wouldn't I? Actually, most people with sleep apnea have no idea it's happening. Your brain briefly wakes you up just enough to restart your breathing, but not enough for you to remember it in the morning. Meanwhile, this constant cycle of stopping and starting breathing is putting enormous stress on your heart and brain. Here's how to recognize if this silent killer might be affecting you. First, pay attention to how you feel in the morning. Do you wake up with headaches, even after what should have been a full night's sleep? Do you feel like you never get truly restful sleep, no matter how many hours you spend in bed? Are you finding yourself unusually tired during the day, maybe even nodding off while watching television or reading? But here's the clue that most people miss. It's not just about how you feel, it's about what others observe. If you sleep with a partner, ask them if they've noticed you snoring loudly, especially if the snoring stops suddenly and then starts again with a gasp or choking sound. Some people with sleep apnea also experience restless sleep, tossing and turning more than usual, or making frequent trips to the bathroom during the night. There's another warning sign that many people don't connect to sleep problems: changes in your mood and mental sharpness. Sleep apnea doesn't just make you tired. It can make you irritable, anxious, or even depressed. You might find it harder to concentrate or remember things, and you might dismiss this as just getting older. But when your brain isn't getting enough oxygen night after night, it affects everything from your memory to your emotional regulation. The really concerning part is that untreated sleep apnea dramatically increases your risk of heart attack, stroke, and high blood pressure. Remember how we talked about high blood pressure being a silent killer? Well, sleep apnea can actually cause high blood pressure, creating a dangerous cycle where one condition feeds the other. What's particularly insidious about the fourth silent killer is that it literally steals your strength from the inside out, and by the time you notice obvious symptoms, you may have already lost a significant amount of what you can never fully get back. I'm talking about osteoporosis, the gradual weakening of your bones that affects millions of people over 60, especially women. Your bones are living tissue that constantly break down and rebuild themselves. But as we age, this process becomes less efficient. With osteoporosis, your bones lose density faster than they can rebuild, leaving them fragile and prone to fractures. The terrifying part is that this happens completely silently for years, with no pain or obvious symptoms, until suddenly you have a fracture from something as simple as a minor fall or even a strong cough. But your body might be giving you subtle hints that your bones are losing strength. Have you noticed that you're getting shorter? Many people assume this is just normal aging, but losing more than an inch in height could indicate that the bones in your spine are compressing due to tiny fractures you didn't even know happened. Are you developing a forward curve in your upper back, sometimes called a dowager's hump? This isn't just poor posture. It could be a sign that the vertebrae in your spine are weakening. Pay attention to your grip strength and overall physical confidence. Are you finding it harder to open jars or carry grocery bags? Do you feel less steady on your feet than you used to? While these could have many causes, they might also indicate that your overall bone and muscle health is declining. Some people also experience back pain that seems to come and go without an obvious cause, which could be related to small compression fractures in the spine. Here's something that might shock you. Your dental health can actually give you clues about your bone health. If you've been experiencing loose teeth or receding gums, especially if you've always had good dental hygiene, this could indicate that the bone loss affecting the rest of your body is also affecting your jaw bones. The connection between these silent killers becomes clearer when you realize how they can compound each other's effects, creating a cascade of health problems that seem to appear out of nowhere, but have actually been building for years. The fifth and perhaps most insidious silent killer is one that affects nearly 1 in 3 adults over 60, yet most people don't discover they have it until they've already lost more than half of their kidney function. I'm talking about chronic kidney disease, and it's called the quiet killer because your kidneys can lose up to 90% of their function before you experience any noticeable symptoms. Your kidneys are incredibly resilient organs that work around the clock to filter waste and excess fluid from your blood, but they're also remarkably good at compensating when they start to fail. This means that even as your kidney function gradually declines over months or years, you might feel completely normal. But here's what's happened behind the scenes. As your kidneys struggle to do their job, toxins begin building up in your blood pressure rises, and your risk of heart disease skyrockets. The scary truth is that many of the subtle signs of kidney disease are so common that most people dismiss them as just part of getting older. Have you been feeling more tired than usual, even after a good night's sleep? Are you experiencing swelling in your ankles, feet, or hands that seems to come and go? Do you find yourself getting up more frequently during the night to urinate? Or has your urine changed color, becoming darker or foamier than usual? Pay attention to changes in your appetite and taste. Some people with declining kidney function notice that food doesn't taste as good as it used to, or they feel nauseous without any obvious reason. You might also experience muscle cramps, particularly in your legs at night, or feel short of breath during activities that never used to bother you. These aren't just random symptoms of aging. They could be your kidney's way of calling for help. What makes chronic kidney disease particularly dangerous is how it interconnects with the other silent killers we've discussed. Remember high blood pressure and diabetes? Both of these conditions are leading causes of kidney disease, but kidney disease can also make both conditions worse, creating a vicious cycle that accelerates the damage to your entire body. Now, I know what you might be thinking after learning about all these silent threats. This is overwhelming. How am I supposed to catch all of these before they become serious? But here's the empowering truth that I want you to understand. Your body is constantly communicating with you, and once you know what to listen for, you become your own best health advocate. The key is to stop dismissing the small changes as just getting older and start seeing them as valuable information. When you notice increased fatigue, don't just accept it. Ask yourself what might be causing it. When you experience new aches, sleep changes, or shifts in how you feel day to day, write them down. Patterns often emerge that can provide crucial clues about what's happening in your body. Most importantly, remember that early detection gives you power. Every single one of these silent killers becomes much more manageable when caught early. High blood pressure responds beautifully to lifestyle changes and medication when addressed promptly. Insulin resistance can often be reversed completely with the right dietary approaches. Sleep apnea can be treated effectively, giving you back your energy and protecting your heart. Osteoporosis progression can be slowed or even stopped with proper intervention. And chronic kidney disease, when caught early, can often be managed for decades without significantly impacting your quality of life. The beautiful thing about taking charge of your health at this stage of life is that small changes can have profound impacts. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with one thing. Maybe it's checking your blood pressure regularly, or paying closer attention to your sleep quality, or simply being more aware of the subtle signals your body sends you each day. Remember, you have more control over your health than you might think. Your body wants to be healthy, and it's designed to heal and maintain itself when given the right support. These silent killers might be sneaky, but they're not inevitable, and they're certainly not unstoppable once you know how to spot them. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you experienced any of these warning signs? Maybe you've caught one of these conditions early and want to share your story to help others. Your experiences could be exactly what someone else needs to hear to take action for their own health. If this information has been helpful to you, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. We're here to give you the tools and knowledge you need to live your healthiest, most vibrant life, no matter what your age. When you subscribe, you'll be the first to know when we release new videos with practical health advice specifically designed for people who refuse to let age define their limitations. Here's to taking control of your health, trusting your body's wisdom, and living every day with the confidence that comes from being your own best health advocate. Remember, it's never too late to start listening to your body and taking action for your well-being. Your future self will thank you for the attention you give to your health today.